a solar flare earlier this week. And of course, in India, it's a big time for us Hindus anyways. And so, lots of energy around that still. One sec. One sec. Maybe that's why I'm not sleeping. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's actually a good point as well. With all the deity energies coming through as well.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah,
So there's a lot.
Stuff with the moon, stuff with the sun. It's what do they call it? A mixed masala.
Yeah. Mixed bag, mixed masala sounds good to me. Okay, let me hit the record here and we'll get started, folks. All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the Awaken to Happiness Now Global Series. Thank you so much for being here with us. Hopefully you can see me. I'm not seeing my video. There we go. Hopefully you can see me. Again, welcome. And if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe so that you can have access to all the live shows, plus access to all of the previous shows on demand. And it is my deepest wish, desire, and intention to bring forward to you, these wonderful speakers who are sharing their teachings, their experiences, their wisdom, their activations, their healings, their clearings, etc., so that we can all thrive, so that we can all raise our vibration frequency and thrive in this reality. And as well as raising our vibration frequency, we are raising the vibration frequency of the collective and of the planet itself. So today, my good friend Vinolan Ponnan is back with us, and we are going to be talking about making space within to receive from without. And so some of what we're going to talk about is, what are you showing up with in the moment? Who's taking up space without paying rent? How can the experience of oneness help you? That and much more. Of course, Vinolan is going to be taking some live caller questions, and he's going to be doing a guided process, working with his dragon team and his support team, divine team, beings of light, to offer us a healing and clearing process. And so for those of you who are on Zoom, some of you have already raised your hand, so they're anxious to talk to you, Vinolan, so we're excited about that. And for those of you who don't know Vinolan, he's been on our show many times now, and we love having him. It's a high vibe, high frequency call, and the activations and the clearings processes are phenomenal. So stay tuned for those as well. He is a multidimensional facilitator and a holder of space. In the early 2000s, he was initiated into Usui Tibetan method of Reiki, like so many of us. With his growing interest in spirituality, he expanded his tool set to include EFT, grace healing, infinity healing, light language, and holographic principles. He currently works with his team of divine workers that includes his soul aspects, dragons and crows, to name a few, to clear detrimental energies, as well as bring in appropriate light body upgrades. Vin is also the custodian of the dragon armor, a spiritual technology that forms a layer of dragon skin around a person when activated. And the armor was channeled through from his oversoul. It has the ability to generate frequency fields around the wielder or any other person as directed. And frequencies include the healing solfeggio frequencies, as well as other frequencies to embody different states of consciousness. And Vin's passion is to clear traumas, to allow more love to shine through from within. And he is a regular on TikTok under the handle Vin_Dragonheart, where he does many free mini healings to assist as meant and as are appropriate. So everyone, please join me in welcoming Vinolan back to the show. Vinolan, welcome.
Thank you very much, Shefali. Hope you're doing well. And hello to your listeners.
Yes, we are all doing well. We were saying before we went live, it is a intense time, right? Today is a full moon, of course, the first full moon of 2024. There's a lot of energy around with solar flares and solar activity this week, as well as, lots of energies. I'm just going to say that. So some of you may be having sleepless nights, and that's okay. And interesting things might be going on, but today's a great day to release what you don't want to carry forward, right? Moving forward in 2024. So, because as you know, full moons are usually about releasing, right? So Vinolan, I'm excited about our topic today. I'm excited to talk about making space within to receive from without. And of course, we are going to be taking live caller questions. So if you are here on Zoom, you may raise your hand or you can type your question in the chat. So where would you like to start today?
Yeah, let's start by what are you showing up with in the moment? So this is my experience, right? And this is something that we've heard before. You are the sum total of all that you have experienced in your life. And even if you're an empath, that kind of doubles things, because when you experience other people's things that show up in front of you, it becomes your experience. That's what makes you empathic. But it also adds to the programming that you then experience and then that you then show up with and that you also take into your life. So this can include something that happened 5 seconds ago, 5 minutes ago, 5 hours ago, 5 years ago. It just compounds, it just builds up. And you have to deal with it so that you can then make space for something else to show up. Most of the time, with all of these programmings that we're running around with, it runs on autopilot, it runs automatically, and it is detrimental because you don't really sit down and address it. But by clearing it, by getting rid of it, by transmuting it, you are then able to change the way that you shine out. You're then able to change what you are willing to accept from outside. And when I say outside, I mean from the universe, from other people as well, because sometimes you can have so many gifts right in front of you, but if you're not willing to accept it, then it's just going to pass you by.
I love what you just said right there about if you're not willing to accept the gifts, life, the challenges, it's all sorts of things. If you're not willing to accept, life is going to pass you by, right? And so what does that mean? That means opportunities, that means grace, that means new abundance, etc., right? So for me, acceptance is really key, really important. Not always easy, I'll be honest, right? It's not always easy to accept the situations that you're in. And of course, when we say accept, we don't mean condone, right? So there's a difference. Recognized as being important, right? And so we don't claim them and we don't accept them as a gift, and then we're not given the opportunities to use them, to share them, and receive the actual benefit or the gifts from the blessings from them, right?
Exactly, 100% right. Look, the only person that can be the best that you can be is yourself. And like it comes back to what you were saying, if you don't accept your gifts, if you don't accept who you are, you're never really going to live up to that pure, powerful potential that is waiting for you to claim. So once again, it comes down to doing the work. It comes down to setting time aside, looking at yourself within, so that you can then start clearing the things that needs to actually leave you once and for all.
And you can only become aware of those things that are able to be released now is if you are present and still and silent and doing the work, right? Doing the work of just sitting quietly and allowing whatever it is to come up so you can observe it, right?
Yeah, exactly right. So the tricky thing with being present is that when people sit down, there's lots of distractions. So the distractions can come in the form of external thoughts, internal thoughts, interferences from outside, of your energy field, from within your energy field, from your past experiences. So everything that detracts you from the present moment, it will drag you either into the past or either into the future. And the cause of this is generally because you're anxious about something, you're feeling worried about something, or you're feeling fearful about something. So these don't just happen overnight. These are compounded. These come from a very young age, and normally it comes from the time with your parents or with your grandparents or with your siblings, because these are your immediate influences that you experience around you. So how the brain works is that as you grow up and you start experiencing similar events in your life, your brain automatically goes back to those events that you've experienced in the past. And then you feel all of these emotions again, and you feel all of those feelings. And then you're kind of stuck in a loop, you're stuck in a trance. And you'd want to resolve it. And there's many different ways of resolving it, like, for example, emotional freedom technique, light language. But one of the simplest ways for you to actually do that is by using the gift that everyone has. And that gift is the power to use of forgiveness. So when you start forgiving someone, when you start forgiving yourself, or if someone has done you wrong in the past, or they're still doing you wrong in the present moment, forgiving them, as you mentioned, it doesn't mean that you condone it. But what it means is that you are then willing to give yourself permission to say, okay, fine, I'm willing to move past this. I'm willing to go and experience something different. I'm willing to not let this define me. And that's what forgiveness does. Forgiveness is more about yourself than it is about the other.
Absolutely. And it's not, it's very easy to say, okay, yes, I forgive this person. But do you really? I mean, it took me a long time, to be honest, to forgive someone, like over 25 years. Over 25 years. And I tried. I did processes. I did everything, but it was still not released. So you have to really truly from your heart want to forgive, not from your head. It's not a mental thing at all. It is from your heart, and you want to forgive for you, right? It has nothing to do with the other person, and it's not like you want to forgive because, okay, I want to forgive this person because I want to suddenly have more abundance. No, you want to forgive because you don't want to hold on to this energy anymore. That's the extent of it, right?
Exactly right. So with me, the biggest thing that I had to work on was the forgiveness of myself. I had massive self-worth issues stemming for years and years and years. And I had to forgive myself for, well, not being strong enough. I had to forgive myself for not being good enough. I had to forgive myself for just being me. And I had to forgive myself for hating myself. And the list can go on, but if you don't sit down and do the work, you're never really going to find the true gem. And like you said before, things are not easy, all right? But it is joyful once you get over it, and it really is worth it.
Yeah, I agree totally. And so now what about who's taking up space without paying rent? I love that. And it's like, oh my goodness, who's taking up space in my energy field, in my thoughts, in my being without paying me rent? I wonder.
So yeah, that goes back to, okay, what are you showing up with, in the moment? And the people and the beings that can show up in your life or with you without paying rent is, well, think about sometimes where you've experienced some massive trauma and there was someone who did you very, very wrong. And you just think about them and it triggers you. Or for example, there's a lot of toxicity happening at work or at home and there's people involved and you can't seem to get away from that. And that just repeats in your energy field on and on and on and on and on. So what happens there is that your boundaries have totally collapsed. Your energy is given away. There's cords, there's attachments, there's all of these nice little things that's there. And essentially you don't have your power. So how that compounds is when we experience certain emotions and certain feelings, we can also start attracting other negative things if that's your vibration. So negative things means, fine, you can start generating your own thought forms. Let's say you are totally angry at a person and you can create an anger thought form that's within your energy field that then starts attracting kinds of anger thought forms because like attracts like. Then that's going to now influence your thoughts again, and it just forms like a loop. Sometimes what can happen in extreme circumstances is that a person can actually open up portals to other dimensions and then start bringing in these entities and attachments that come through, and they then start feeding off you. It's like, hey, look, there's free food over here. So extending to that problem is where they can start attacking you in your dream states and then start developing contracts with you, but not to scare everyone because this thing just go on and on and on. The bottom line is you want to maintain control of your energy field. You want to maintain the power that is you, and you want to maintain your sovereignty. And the way you would do that is by acknowledging that, hey, there's some drama that's going around, acknowledging that there is certain flows of energies is happening around, acknowledging that you have the power to then choose, okay, fine, what it is that I want to experience. I want to experience calm. I want to experience being present. I want to experience my sovereignty. And I want to experience just having control of my life.
Absolutely. And we might think that that's like a basic thing, saying I choose to experience calm. I choose to experience being sovereign. I choose to experience any of that kind of stuff. But the thing is, are you experiencing that now? Right. And so a lot of times, I mean, I don't always have as much calm as I would like. So what am I letting interfere with my calmness, or choosing calm? That's a great example.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's something you want to ask yourself, right? And so what are you being triggered by? What are you giving up your power to, the emotion to? And, you know, is it worth it?
Yeah.
No, in my case, no.
So you want to start observing, getting to that observer state of being. Okay. So observing means just looking at it without any judgment. So you look at your thoughts, you look at the stuck feelings and emotions and patterns, you look at where you feel it in your body. You search your memories and look at where you've experienced similar kinds of things in the past, because it is related. You look at the person around you. Are they coming from a place of their own hurt? And that's when we start going to the other aspects of oneness, which we'll cover in a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, you know, we are in relationship with so many people, right? We're always in relationship with people. And, you know, those other people may not always be coming from the highest vibration frequency, right? Usually not. And so, you know, when they're in reaction mode, do we go into reaction mode to their reactions, or are we able to stay calm and centered and maintain our energy field, maintain our presence, maintain our frequency and vibration? Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Yes, exactly right. Sometimes yes. And the good thing about the yes is that if you are able to maintain it, more often than not, people are able to respond to you because of the laws of entrainment. So when there are two different vibrations, either one will entrain to the other. So by you maintaining your control, life just seems to get better. And in those circumstances where you said, yeah, like sometimes no, that's when the observer effect starts to come in. That's when you start observing yourself and say, okay, fine, what am I experiencing now? Why am I experiencing this? And do I really need to get sucked into all of this? And you become sort of like a witness to all of the things that's going on around you. And that just empowers you so much more, because you now start to interrupt and to change the patterns that used to take control of you.
Yes, and that's what it's about. It's a pattern interrupt, right? Interrupting the patterns first so that you can start to create new patterns. But it all, again, starts with awareness and presence and being in that state of oneness, but also just being present enough to be aware of what you are feeling, what you're perceiving in your field, not just your thoughts, but your emotions, your feelings, your energy field. And we can do that best, but if we're grounded and really truly present here, instead of just out here, so show my hands, out here or up here, right? When we're fully here, we have a better chance of being more aware.
I totally agree with that. So the heart space is where all the magic happens. And when you're stressed, you're never really in your heart. You're up there in your head, and you're there running those scenarios and running those movies and running these what ifs and who ifs and why ifs, all designed to just keep you stuck in the loop. But by observing, by dropping down into your heart space, by choosing, okay, fine, I'm going to control my breathing now, because that's one thing I can control. By exercising that, you can start to appreciate, okay, fine, what else can I control? I can control where I want to place my attention. I can control what thought I want to entertain now, and I can choose how I want to respond to the situation. I can choose what I want to say. And all of these are very empowering. All of these are very simple to do, but they are very empowering.
It's remembering to do them, right? So yes, they're very simple to do, but it's about remembering to do them, right? Remembering to use our tools in the moment, and then not judging ourselves for not using the tools, and not judging ourselves for going into reaction, etc.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, they say life is short to take it too seriously, and that's my approach, you know. So yeah, you're going to get serious things coming up, but after a while, you'll take a step back and say, hey, um, I'm going to let go and let God if I can't really handle this, and that can do wonders.
Yes, surrender, let go and let God, especially in those, and I've
And
had those situations for sure, right?
mhm,
But if you
let
can do that
go.
even more, sorry, I just want to just, because it's not just about those extreme situations, it's about even more of the regular routine situations too. If you can let go and let God, you'll be in that state or that sense of surrender and flow, I think.
Yeah. So surrender and flow is where it's at, man. And that takes me to what I want to speak about being oneness. You know, so my feeling of being oneness is where your barriers come down. It's where your labels come down. It's where the hierarchies come down. And when that happens, there is that experience of oneness, right? And oneness leads you to that experience of just being. Okay? Being leads you to the experience of being formless. Okay? Formlessness is where all of your potential lies, because in formlessness, you're in a state of matter, or shall I say, a quantum state, the wave state. And that's just pure potential. So that's how the flow goes.
And so the experience of oneness, because oneness is a great buzzword, right, in this industry. It's a great buzzword. So how can we experience oneness on a regular basis and live in that state of oneness, um, to help us navigate through the challenges and the stressful situations that we may experience?
The way I do it sometimes is I acknowledge the I am presence within me. So for me, the I am presence, it is the presence of source. Once I recognize it within myself, I start to then recognize it in everything else around me, in my laptop, in the table, and especially in other people as well. And when I recognize it in other people, I say the affirmation that the I am in me recognizes the I am in you as perfect and divine. And that already generates that experience of being oneness, because now the barrier between you and me just dissolves. There is no you and me, there's just the I am. And when that comes through, that space that it comes with, that energy, that emotion, that feeling, you can ask that intelligence to clear any distortions that needs to be cleared. And that's one way of actually using and experiencing the oneness.
I love that. Yeah, that's beautiful. And that's a great way of looking at yourself, your relationships with other people, your relationships with the collective, your relationship with the earth, the planet as well, right? So yeah, I love that. Good. Thank you. So I want to take some questions because I know there's a lot of people with their hands raised. I wonder what kind of questions they have for us today. Let's start. Are you ready to take some questions?
I am ready.
All right, Linda, you want to unmute yourself? Let's go. And Linda's what? I'm not ready yet. Okay, we're gonna go one. We'll come back to Linda. I don't know where she went. So we're gonna go to Manisha. Manisha, you go. You want to unmute yourself?
Yes. Hello, Alara. Hello, Vin. Thank you
Hi,
for
Manisha.
offering me this opportunity. I wanted to check with you. Yeah, as you said, lots of heightened emotions because of the new moon. Yesterday, I woke up with the most awful headache. So, yeah, I would love to find out, when you're talking about gifts, I'm thinking of studying for a nutritionist course. Do you think that would be a good thing to do? Using my skills. Just I was actually an interior designer. I've been thinking of looking at a different path.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm coming from today.
All right. So I am not that type of psychic. But what I can tell you is this.
Energy,
Okay.
my energies.
So let me just tune in a bit. So you want to focus on nutrition and taking that as a profession or taking that as a hobby?
Well, I need to get some more skills and some qualifications. So I've got some in the UK. I'm in London, so I've done some like safeguarding, etc. But I want to get some more skills that I could take it as a profession, actually.
Okay, so with any success, I think it comes within where your passion is, all right?
Yeah.
So for me, if I tune in, it seems like this thing is coming from some problem that you wanted to solve, okay? But you may have forgotten about it. You may have forgotten why exactly you wanted to continue with nutrition. It's like, oh, it's just a good idea. Yeah, out here right now. So I would then say, experience why you wanted to feel this, why you wanted to study it, what is the excitement that made you want to go into this path, and then decide, okay, fine, this is where my passion is. Is this going to excite me going forward? And then you'll then be able to make your own decision to say, okay, fine, I'm going to go forward with this or not. Because a lot of the times we pick goals, we pick things that we think we want, but we actually forget why it is that we wanted it. And if you don't ask yourself why, you're never really going to get to the true essence and the true driving force that's going to take you to where you want to go, because it will just become something that you do. And it may leave you unfulfilled, it may leave you well despondent. So I would say go to the why, and that will tell you whether or not it's going to be a yes or a no.
No, thank you so much. And I also love, I always get these messages for forgiveness for self, because that way I can heal whatever trauma that I've received or gone through.
Yes. So yeah, as we mentioned before, forgiveness will just make space, you know. So when you make space, and you can replace it with whatever it is that you want, because nature doesn't like to have a vacuum. And when the space is there, the light will come in. Just have to allow it.
No, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alara. Thank you, Ben.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you, Manisha. And I totally agree with Vinolan about find out your why. If you're coming from lack, scarcity, I'm not good enough, then that's not a very good reason as to why you want to do the nutritionist course. So why are you wanting to do it? Is it for yourself to heal? Is it to help others to heal? Just really tap into the why. Then it's not going to be like a chore, right?
No. The reason I want to do it is I live like this, so I'm living a healthy life. But if I can share what I'm going through, because I'm 65 years old. So that's where I'm coming from. But I look much younger, and I don't have a spleen, I don't have a large intestine, but how have I navigated my life? Living healthily. So this is where I'm coming from. So it's not just a random thing that I've come up with.
Which is perfect, because what it feels to me then is that where you're coming from is a place of self-expression. And there's no greater joy in the world than self-expression. As long as that remains with you, then you can conquer anything.
Yeah, so this is where I'm looking at branching out, because I wanted to help. Originally, I was thinking of doing something with IBS, but then, I need to be able to help other people the way I've lived with many years, is I need to get a medical sort of qualifications before I could do. So that's where I'm coming from. Then I thought, well, with nutrition, based, I don't really need that many qualifications. Like I don't need a medical, I can be a nutritionist.
True.
And then come from, and I can cook, so I could then share some of my recipes with YouTube, etc. So this is where, so it's not a random thing, but something I couldn't do with IBS, and I thought, what else can I do? So this is where I'm coming. But
awesome.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Manisha.
All right, we're gonna go back to Linda. Linda, if you can unmute now, that'd be great.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Hey, Linda.
Okay, so how are you raising your vibration enough to get in contact with source?
So my personal things is that I became a vegetarian again. Well, not so much vegetarian. I'm still having eggs, but I cut out all of the other meat products, like no meat, no fish, yeah, none of that. So I've been doing it again for about 4 or 5 months. So I've experimented with this a bit on and off. I was a vegetarian before for about 17 years, and that's in my early years, you know. So after about probably in my 20s, I started eating meat again. And yeah, until recently, I said, cool, let me do this again. So at the beginning of last year, January, I tried it for about 3 or 4 months. And automatically, what I found is that I was getting too high just by the change of the diet. I was carrying a lot more energy, but I couldn't really function because I was getting too high. So I started eating meat again, right, just to ground myself. Then I felt, okay, cool, I've grounded enough now. It's been a good couple of 3 or 4 months, and now I'm back onto the vegetarian sort of diet. And in my consciousness, because I've removed a lot of blocks and a lot of boundaries to distance, I would say. Like, for example, if I'm chatting with you, you're as good as standing here, right here next to me. So if I want to connect with source, source is as good as right here next to me. I've removed those boundaries. It's like a software upgrade just by constantly doing it, just by constant connection, by constant visualization. I think the neurons have formed their pathways and all of that kind of stuff. So therefore, I'm able to then kind of, maintain that vibration to get to source, because you can work with processes, or you could just do things like that, because you can just drop the processes. A lot of times I can just drop the processes and just entangle. So when you entangle with source, it's just connection, it's just the thought, it's just that awareness, and then boom, you're already there. And if you're already there, then you can experience that vibration, you can experience that energy, and then naturally your body starts to adopt, it starts to adapt, and it starts to raise in vibration as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Linda.
Great. Thank you, Linda. Great question. All right, we're going to go to Vet. I think it's Yvette or Eve. I'm not sure. So we'll see who it is.
Vet.
Vet, are you there? Do you want to unmute? Are you also having a hard time unmuting? Okay, we're going to 1, 2, 3. We're going to go to Arunima. Yeah. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Lara. I wanted to ask you, what do you see in my energy? I have all these tools I have gathered. None of them I have been able to implement because of survival. Just I'm in constant survival. I get a job and then it just dissolves. And then I'm constantly starting and restarting and starting. I am exhausted. My energies have gone. I'm constantly trying to raise my vibration. Just tell me, what do you see in my energy? What is going on?
Okay, initially the solar plexus region around that showed up quite a bit. So there does seem to be some kind of a blockage there. Also, what seems to be happening is you're way too much in your head. Okay, so when I say that, the constant worry is never ever going to go away unless you address it. Okay, because your circumstances that you change is not really going to change the end result, because, as I mentioned before, how do you show up? Okay, what do you show up as? What baggage are you bringing through with you? And as long as you have that kind of worry, as long as you have that kind of fears, you can change your job as much as you want. Okay, your circumstances and your end result are still going to be the same, because that's the current expression of who you are. And there's no judgment about it, because what it means is that whatever it is that you are attracting very well. The trick comes in here now to attract something different that can rather serve you. So, I don't know what is going on probably when you were 23 years old, because that's a number that seems to have popped up. Maybe go back into those memories, go back into the past, and do simple things like emotional freedom technique. Do something that I highly recommend, which is called the Compassion Key by Edwin Mannix, a very powerful technique, the compassion key
Okay.
by Edwin Mannix. So you just give yourself compassion. And yeah, when you start changing your vibration, when you start changing your outlook towards yourself, then that's going to change. So we also have that experience of oneness. We'll do a meditation of it later as well. And when you experience that, let the label of how you label yourself change. Because currently you're labeling yourself as a person who always gets into these situations and they can't raise their vibration. So when that shifts, you allow something different to happen, and then you can start creating more differently in your reality.
So basically, how do I stabilize myself? I really want to be stable, and I'm trying to make myself in, a kind of grounded person so that I can be the source of stability for my kids. So EFT and compassion, and besides that,
it's worked for me. Look, it's pretty much worked for me. And like I've been in depression for 8 years in my early 20s. So early teens and 20s into the 20s. And that's what I stuck around with. That's what helped me.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Arnim. And of course, stay tuned for the process that we're going to be doing, okay?
Thank you.
That will also help. All right, we're going to go to Tanya. You want to unmute yourself?
Yes, sorry. Just change the room.
Mhm.
So my question is that my ex, he has such a strong personality, and apparently he's still in my field. I was told recently, and he's blocking other males or whoever wants kind of to have a relationship with me. I was told. So what do I do? Because I thought I already cut all the ties and cut all the energetic connections and stuff, and apparently not. So is there any practices I can do, or I mean, what do I do?
Are you? I just want to ask: are you still legally married to him?
Legally, yes, on the
Then yeah.
paper.
Then yes, you are still tied to him.
So you mean that only after I do paperwork and it only I will be free?
No, but that's
Look, it's a strong tie-in physically, because there's a lot of physical things that tie it into the spiritual things. For example, your birth certificate, your name, because it's a contract. It's not just a physical contract; it's also a spiritual contract, because everything is interlinked. Have you forgiven him yet?
I see. Well, I don't have any anger towards him anymore.
you didn't answer the question. Have you forgiven him yet?
Almost.
So there's a couple of things you'd want to do. You want to forgive him, and you want to forgive yourself as well. And there's certain ways that you'll have to forgive yourself. You'll have to forgive yourself for co-creating this event. You'll have to forgive yourself for manifesting such a thing. You have to forgive yourself for possibly not being strong enough to get passes. There's a whole lot of things that you can forgive yourself for. So do the forgiveness, just allow yourself and allow your mind to kind of roam about, just to see where you might have established a kind of weakness towards it, and forgive yourself, and that's going to release.
Okay, long work, I think. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lara.
Thank you, Tanya. And Vinolan, I love what you just said about forgiving this part and this part and this part. It's not just a general blanket, I forgive myself.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Tanya. We don't want to do the work. Let's face it. We don't want to do the work. We want it to be easy and simple and have somebody else do the work for us. But it doesn't work as well when we just let somebody else do the work for us. All right. So Yvette, are you there or no?
Yes.
Yes, there you are. Awesome.
Okay. I'm
Hello.
gonna go change it. Hi. Hi, Ben. Hi, Alara. Okay,
Hi.
so my question, thanks for taking my call again. Yes. Okay, so I have two related questions. So it's the first one is, how do you change your expression to attract something different. And this is related to, it's like if the traumatic experiences keep going on and on, right? Like same different place, same experiences, different people, same experiences, and you've worked on them. I would like to see, at what age did the traumatic experience originate, so that I can go in and work on it. As Lara says, you got to work on it. So can you look at it and see, like, at what age, at what stage, what was it that was so, foundational that it keeps pulling the same thing back again?
Mm-hmm.
Got it?
I think I understand. I think I got it, but I probably won't be able to give you much details on it.
Mhm.
If you don't mind me asking, how old are you? If you don't.
Oh my God, I can't even tell you. I'm over the hill. I'm retired, almost. So,
Okay, that's fine. Let's
over
just see
the
what
hill.
we can. That will work for me. That's fine. So do you have a pen with you?
Yeah.
Cool. So I want you to write these ages down, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a second. So where are the weaknesses? Okay, 57.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
50.
Mm-hmm.
46.
Mm-hmm.
40.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that 40 and 50 showed up because these are like milestones. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
there's
Mm-hmm.
33 years old.
43 or 33?
33.
33.
Yeah. 23 as well.
Mm-hmm.
11. 4 years old.
Mm.
And 1 year old.
Okay. So what if you can't remember, as far back as 1 and 4?
Well, here's a great thing about imagination. Your imagination can entangle information and things that you don't need to remember, that you don't need to know. I think a lot of times people get stuck in the details, and the details is what just keeps you stuck in that loop. Okay, so what I would rather do is you can imagine like your timeline at that specific point, and you can use the power of forgiveness. So whatever it is what's going on there, forgive yourself, forgive your parents, forgive your grandparents, forgive significant others, forgive friends, and all the other stuff. And just know that whatever is going on there is happening at that specific age. So in a sense, it's like you are now the future self. You're going back into the past, like maybe your own guardian angel, and you're then administering the necessary healing so that your current reality can then shift.
Mm.
Great
Yes,
process
this,
for all of us.
this is wonderful to experience. I definitely will try. It's a lot of work.
Don't
Great.
try, just do.
Just do
Okay.
it. Exactly.
I will do it. Yeah, thanks. That's like gold.
Yeah,
Thank you so
exactly.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Alara. Thanks so much.
Thank you. That was great. Great question. Great new process for all of us to work with for ourselves. So awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see, where are we? There was a question in the chat. So from Manisha, she's asking, would you be able to share your wisdom for the year of the dragon? Because this is the year of the dragon. If you have any wisdom around it.
I don't have any specific things for your dragon, because the funny thing with me is that when we start to have these things like 1111 portals and this and that and retrograde, I totally step out of it, because I'm not going to be dictated to by certain things. You understand? I've got my own awareness. I've got my own guidance coming through in the form of connecting to my own spirit. So if I were to give any advice to you regarding the year of the dragon is to be your own dragon. Be courageous, be fearless, and be your own you, without the need to adopt things from anyone else, without the need to put your decision making in the hands of someone else, because it's your reality. You were born here, you chose to be here, and you can also choose to, reinforce and reestablish your own power. So be your own dragon. That's the best that I can do in this
I
moment.
love that. Yeah, that's great. And that's, it's a message for all the time, every year, every day, be you, right? And be all of you. And that comes from, having that experience of oneness that comes from doing the work, the healing work, clearing work, whatever you want to call it, right? Being more and more aware of who you are. Be that. Don't be what you think you should be, what others expect you to be, or anything like that. Just be you. And be the sovereign you, and start to, create your life from that place of sovereignty and choice. Yeah. Good. I love that.
Lara, I wanted a quick verification from Win.
Mhm.
He mentioned something about at 23. What am I looking for at 23, age 23? What did you mean by that?
It's a similar process that I did before for that, where, okay, I just tune in, and that's a number that I heard as well. So at the similar process that I described to actually address it, once again, you don't have to look for anything, because details, it gets you stuck, okay? And it's just your ego, it's just your conscious mind that thinks that, fine, once I understand this, then I can then be at peace. It's a trap. You don't need it, okay? You just need to focus in there. And if you do feel that there's any other traumas that you are experiencing, or that you have experienced that comes to mind, do exactly the same process. You just need to forgive. You just flood the timeline with love and compassion. And then that shifts things. Because your memory will change, your reaction to it will change, and your entire energy state will then be able to move forward.
Well, thank you for clarifying. Thank you.
Yeah. And like in my work, whenever we give a year, it's usually within, like if I said 23, it's okay, it's either 22, 23, 24. Something happened at that time. We don't know what, we don't need to know what, but something happened at that time that needs to be healed, So I do like to have clarity sometimes on what that is, so that I can fully clear it. But again, that is the mind, right? Wanting to know. But it is about allowing yourself to then do the healing work, do the forgiveness work, so that you can shift and change out of that into who you are meant to be, who you want to be, what you want to create. It's not about getting stuck in the story. I was like, oh my God, this happened. This is what ruined my life, blah, blah, blah. No, right? It's never one thing that has changed your life. It's always been series of events and things that have happened, right? That you've experienced or that you've interpreted, in some way. Make sense? That's what I think anyway.
That's nicely said, Lara, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes that wisdom comes through, Casey, you want to unmute yourself?
Yes, thank you. Oh, this is fascinating. Thank you. I too would like to know what years I should focus on with this forgiveness exercise. If you could do me a kind of a scan, I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, Casey. Okay, ballpark. Without exact figures, how old are you?
Oh, I'm kind of like that. I'm up there.
Okay, cool.
I'm retired.
Cool, that's good enough. Thank you. So, yeah, I'm getting 50. You got your pen, sorry?
Yes.
Okay, 54. 52. 46. 43. something slightly there by 36 years old. But you can work on that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, 30 years old. You're 19 years old.
Hmm.
And all of the ages from 1 to 10.
All of them, did you say?
Yeah, from
Wow.
1 year to 10 years. Yeah.
God. Wow.
You asked, Casey, right?
Yeah. Okay, so I just go back to those years generally in my mind and send love and forgiveness to myself at that time as much as I can picture it. That
And the
has
people around you.
And the people around you.
the family, yeah. Okay. Wow. Is it do this in parts, or is it good to do it like take a day and do all the ages?
Do it in the way that you're comfortable with. Look, at the end of the day, people want results and probably they want things immediately.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's a good idea and sometimes it's not such a good idea because the experience is sometimes exactly what you needed. You need to experience that in the way that it has to be experienced. So that can take time. So I would say just tuning to how you feel and tuning to how you feel comfortable with working with yourself. I would also say that don't be in a rush to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say actually for you, please just take your time with it. Don't be in a rush for it.
And to start at the top or the bottom, beginning or the last page.
Well, you can start from the top and then working all the way back.
Yeah. Okay.
I think it'll be a good experience because generally the things that happened quite recently are the ones that kind of affect you more. The things that happened early on in your life, it can be there and about, kind of forgotten, kind of very far away, but energetically it does impact you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Very good.
Okay, thank you, Casey.
Good luck with that, Casey.
Thank you so much, both of you.
You're welcome. Thank you. And I just want to say to everybody too, like when, this is my opinion anyways, when Vinolan is giving you all these ages and years, etc., it's not always like major, big, significant things. Sometimes it might just be as simple as somebody ticked you off. That's and you know, that's it, right? It is not always a big, major traumatic event. It could be just you had a bad feeling, a bad thought about somebody, or you had a fight with somebody. You know, it's not always major. You know, so please understand that when it comes to energetic, even the smallest little thing is can be is what needs forgiveness and healing work as well, right? All right, we're gonna go to so don't go looking for something like something major traumatic happened at that time.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know what, you know,
So,
it's like no.
once again, the idea for this is not for you to go and stress yourself. It is not for you to traumatize yourself as well. The idea is for you to experience and for your younger self to experience that healing as well, because you are still interconnected to the past as well as the future. So don't go looking for the trauma. Be light about it and just experience and feel that forgiveness for yourself, for everyone around you, and move forward from it.
All right, Sandy, we're gonna take the last question from Sandy, then we're gonna because we want to make sure we do our process still too. So Sandy, go ahead.
Oh,
Hi,
hi.
Sandy.
Thanks for taking my call. I'm actually just I've just been sitting here being curious about something you said and about when you're raising your vibration and your vibration is high, very consciously you're vegetarian. But there's sometimes that it gets so, I can't remember the word you used, whether it was more powerful or something, but you then were eating animals to reduce that. Would you mind explaining that a little bit more? I'm really curious about that.
So it was just the experience that I had, which I'm not having that now. So as I mentioned, this happened last year sometime from January to about 3, maybe 4 months. Can't quite remember. But yeah, being a vegetarian, gave up meat and did all the other stuff. And consciously, I don't think I had enough, I would say, upgrades or coding to manage all of the energy that was coming through to me at that time. Okay, so things were quite intense. I was walking around probably, I'm not going to say like a zombie, but it wasn't a functional state that I wanted to be. So I found that when I ate meat again, then I was kind of grounded back into 3D, kind of more solid, kind of more feeling my physical body a lot more. So that was my experience for that. So I then, yeah, started eating meat. Okay. I then started, okay, so cool, just give me the upgrade so that I can handle this energy more and more. I started playing with it because that's what I do when I receive downloads or upgrades. I start using what it is that has come forth. I mean, I'm not going to park it there because then what's the point of it? And by doing that, by upgrading more and more of my keepers on a regular basis. So the keepers are kind of the beings that manage your vibration in the matrix. I then was able to now, well, I would say I'm quite comfortable handling those energies. I don't get that high feeling. I'm pretty much able to, function in the 3D world as a normal human. And yeah, that's basically what I meant by all of that I said.
It's more balanced. Your energy, frequency, vibration is more balanced instead of being so high that you can't function. So that's why you did the grounding for you. The meat helped with the grounding. And then once you found yourself to be more stable and balanced again, you gave up the meat again and you were able to handle the high vibration frequency better.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that, and I'm not advocating that everyone now just gives up meat.
Yeah, that's not for everybody, but you know.
So with me, I have no judgment whether you eat meat or not, because it's a choice. For me, this is my choice that I want to go with. And it's not because I'm going to say killing animals is good or bad, because now that's getting to an entire different conversation of duality. This is just my choice. This is just my way of doing things. And you've got to ask yourself, define, what do I want to do? What's my way forward? And what do I feel like in my heart space? And then that's going to be your guidance.
Does that help, Sandy?
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been a vegetarian for as long as I can remember, for some many years. I was just curious about the change of energy with eating meat. I understand that, but I was just curious that you were, to hear you were doing that as a way of managing it. That's why I've never heard that before in that context. That's why I was curious.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, and for sure, because eating meat or eating certain other things will help to ground your energy more, So sometimes, you may need that, but you don't. There are other ways to balance and ground, but for Vinolan, that was what was calling him at the time, right? So you trust your own knowing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so trust your own knowing, do what's right for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Sandy. All right, so we are going to just take a moment and talk about the packages, and then we're going to do the wonderful process that we have promised you as well. So give me 1 second if there's no more questions right now. We'll see if there are any more after. But I'm going to share my screen. Let's see if this works. If you can.
There we go.
Okay, this should be good. So Vinolan has 3 packages this time, package A, B, and C. So let's talk a little about these packages. So this is new, the 4 times dragon hard body clearing with the Dragon Kings. That's new.
Yeah, so what I do kind of regularly is I go up into the source dimension. And when I initially started doing it, there was a few beings that I encountered. The beings that I mentioned here is the 13 solar dragon kings. So I did see the dragons. They look like more the Asiatic type of dragons, not so much the Western type. I think it's the Ling dragons that they kind of describe themselves as. And talking to them and seeing them that they were 13 solar dragon kings, I know that there are some other stories about them, but I'm not really subscribed to a lot of the things in the Ascension glossary. But these were the beings that came through. And as such, what I do is every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I used to do Dragon Heart Reiki sessions, but since the dragons started coming in, what I do now is I hold space with them and we clear all of the body systems. So for example, we would be clearing your skeletal system and aligning that with clearing your muscular system, circulatory system, your digestive system, respiratory system. We just go through the entire body with the dragons as well as my dragon aspect, who looks pretty much like what you see in that image. So it's just another form of myself on the astral. And then that's what we do. We clear it, and then we have it replaced with what is for your highest good. And we also bring in source love.
Awesome. And then the bonus is the Dragon Armor and Dragon Heart Reiki attunement. So this is a recording, right? It's a pre-recorded group session.
So yeah, this is a pre-recorded group session that I've done before in the previous packages. This is an attunement so that you can also give yourself and other people Dragon Heart Reiki, and also tunes you to the Dragon Armor. So the Dragon Armor is like a skin that forms around your actual physical body. You can feel the heaviness and the denseness of it, but it's also kind of sentient. So you can actually tell it what it is that you want it to do. For example, you can tell it to become more comfortable for you. What I found that is quite powerful with this technology is that it can generate different types of frequencies, and we'll do a bit of frequencies in the process a bit later as well. So the solfeggio frequencies, you can just Google it, but I've also indicated it in a sort of PDF file that I will be submitting as well. You can go through it, you can hold states of consciousness with it, because each consciousness state is a dimension, it is a frequency. So if you are interested in doing meditations and all of that kind of things, this can be quite useful for you.
Awesome. So package A is $44. And of course, if you are an Inner Circle member, please do use your gift code. And then package B is everything in package A plus the I Am audio package.
So yeah, just a quick one through the packages. The portal sessions is, what happens there is we create 4 portals. So there's going to be a portal in front of you. There's going to channel source love, right? So that's going to empower you. There's going to be a portal created behind you that's going to bring in Gaia's energy to kind of bring you support. And then there's going to be portals above and below. So the portal above is going to lift and clear any detrimental energies that's in your energy fields, and it's going to take it back up to source. And whatever needs to go to Gaia is going to go to the bottom portal, and that's going to go there to be rehabilitated. The forgiveness audio, that is a light language transmission. And once again, you're not really going to understand what I'm going to be saying there. But what it will do is it's just going to release, and it's going to sort of unloosen any of these stuck energies or these stuck patterns. So it's going to bring in the forgiveness energy so that you can more powerfully move forward in your life. So you'll be able to release any old patterns that, or any other people that sort of, taking up space and living rent-free there, so you can just let them go. And this also works on yourself as well. So the cellular AI is also a light language clearing. So throughout your life, you pick up things from your parents, you pick up things from your ancestors, and this light language clearing will focus more specifically on the DNA to lift and clear it, and then have that being replaced with more light and more love. Once again, it's about releasing, it's about allowing that which is for your highest good. And the I Am presence, that is also a light language transmission. And this helps you to then get into the state of oneness and interconnectivity to all that is. And we will be doing a similar process a bit later, but without the light language. But once that I Am presence is there, you can then connect to it and ask it to resolve certain issues that you want to release, certain things that you want to heal. It's all about awareness.
Absolutely. And so package B, there is a payment plan available. And of course, if you're an Inner Circle member, please use your gift code. And then package C is everything in package A and B, plus a private one-on-one session with Vinolan. It's a 30-minute session, right?
Yeah, it's a 30-minute session.
Mhm.
So a general one-on-one session is exactly that. We show up and then we tune in, or you can come prepared to say what it is that you want to work on. And as we communicate, we will see where there's stuck energies, what needs to be released, what needs to be forgiven. And if light language comes through, then the light language will come through to lift and clear that. This will also be holding space for the 13 Dragon Kings as well as my aspects. So that would include my Black Dragon aspect as well as pros.
Awesome. So that's package C, and a payment plan is available. There's some wonderful testimonials from people who have worked with Vinolan, so please do check those out. And again, there's the 3 packages, A, B, and C. See which one resonates with you. But of course, if you can, if you can get the package B or C, because then you're going to get more audios, more transmissions, more clearings. That forgiveness MP3 that we've been talking about forgiveness a lot. And of course, package C is a 30-minute one-on-one session with Vinolan. And I highly recommend that if you can. All right, so please do take a look at the package and see which one resonates with you. I'm going to put cannot hold on. It's not letting me put the link in there for some reason. Hold on 1 second. Let me try again. Let me try again. 1 second. There we go. So the link to the special offer page is in the chat. And of course, if anybody has any questions, please do ask now about the packages. So the process that we're going to do today, Vinolan, what are we doing exactly? We're going to be getting into that state of oneness, right? The space of oneness and state of oneness.
So we're going to be getting to the state of oneness. We're also going to be opening up the portals that I mentioned. That's in the audio, just to give people an idea of what is to be experienced. And then this will just be a gentle experience of you raising your vibration and experience and I am presence, the way it is in me, the way it is in you, the way it is that it's in everyone.
Awesome. Great. All right. So I'm just going to mute myself and then we're going to just start the process.
Okay, so I'm just going to invite everyone to get comfortable and close your eyes for a bit and take a deep breath in. Exhale. And bring your awareness to this moment. Bring your awareness to the now. And bring your awareness to your heart space. And connecting everyone to source above, Gaia below, and your source fractal within. And as these energies combine, allow it to expand throughout your body, throughout your energy field, throughout the room that you're in, and expand it all the way into the edges of reality. And we're now going to activate the dragon egg around your auric field now. And you're going to find your mental state being very quiet, your energetic state being a lot calmer, as the sacred dragon egg shields you from any external detrimental energies. And now activating the portal from source directly in front of you. Now to send you infinite source love. Activating the portal behind you. the portal from Gaia to bring in that motherly supporting energy activating the portal to source above your head. And that's just going to lift and clear any detrimental energies that needs to go back up to source for rehabilitation. Now, activating the portal at your feet, going to Gaia, to lift and clear any energies that needs to go to Gaia for rehabilitation. Asking that these portals are now stabilized and secure. And calling forth the 13 solar dragon kings to come through to connect to everyone and to assist in blessing, healing, clearing, lifting and transmuting any detrimental energies, anything absent of love, anything that does not serve your highest good now. Lift and clear. And now with everyone in this room, we now activate the I am energy frequency field now. And as you start to become aware of the I am presence within yourself, notice the same I am presence in everyone on this call, looking back at you, loving you. Acknowledging its divinity, acknowledging the presence that is you. Acknowledge the I am on the seat that you are, in the space around you. As we now set the intention and ask the I am presence to remove and release any distortions in your energy field, and to bring in the energy of forgiveness to release what needs to be released at this point in time. Asking the I am presence to now raise our energy field with pure love, and to raise our life force within our bodies now. And asking intending to be anchored and grounded now. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. And slowly bring your awareness back to this moment, back to the now, and back to your body. And whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes as we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is.
Awesome. Thank you. I could have stayed in that state much longer. That was beautiful. Thank you. I don't know what that says, Arunima, but
Thank you, Shivali.
it's like I'm slowly starting to come back, but it was a different type of state, a different type of space. And it was like, yeah, really, really powerful. It was a powerful presence, is what I'm going to say. Arunima says, thanks a bunch. Okay, good. You're welcome. Sandy says, thank you. That was lovely. I kept having chills going up and down. Okay, cool. And Cindy says, thank you so much for that beautiful process. I didn't have chills per se, but I do remember at one point when you said something about the I am presence all around us and the chair and all that stuff. I felt a click of some sort at that time, or maybe it was before. I'm not even sure now, but there was definitely a shift happening. Yeah. So being in that state of oneness and being in tune or entrained to your I am presence is a different type of energy, different type of frequency, different type of vibration. And then when you want to come back down to the 3D, being functional, like I'm trying to be functional right now as a host, it can take a little bit. It can take a little bit to settle back down, right?
Yeah, but it's a very powerful presence.
Yeah.
In my experience.
Oh my goodness. Cindy said I felt tingling on top of my head, then a wave of vibration through my body. Ooh, nice. Of course, I was yawning too throughout the thing, for sure, throughout the process, for sure. And I love how you incorporated the forgiveness process in it as well, the forgiveness healing in it as well. So that was, I don't remember what we were doing. So it's like, I just know there was something there, right?
So yeah, the point of this is make up your own stuff, make up your own techniques, forgive yourself in your own way. The guided meditation is not part of the audio, but what is part of there is the holding of the space with the light language and with the activation of the I am presence. And from there, you then get to choose and you then get to focus on what it is that I want to lift and clear. How do I want to experience it? Just start becoming more and more aware of this present throughout your daily life.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what it's about, being more and more present in your daily life, day-to-day life, right? So that you can be aware and then lift and clear what doesn't resonate with you anymore, what doesn't serve you anymore, what doesn't fit into your reality, into your creation of what you're wanting to create for your life. Ah, good. All right. Any last words of wisdom? I'm gonna be like, now and I'm gonna like start coughing. Brenda says, thank you for this opportunity. Such a deep, deep, powerful, heartfelt experience. Your voice is so inspiring and powerful. So grateful. Oh, good.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you, Brenda.
Glad you were able to experience that, Brenda.
So, yeah, last words of wisdom, like I mentioned before, be your own dragon, but don't be hard on yourself. There are plenty of other opportunities for you to be hard on yourself, but this year is not that year. Treat yourself with kindness, treat yourself with love, and very importantly, with any energy work, whether it's my work, whether it's Shefali's work, or any other work, don't forget to hydrate. It's going to help you a lot.
Yes, definitely. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. I always do at the end of each process. Drink some water. Definitely drink some water. Ground, go outside, get some fresh air. Grounding is really, really key. And the grounding is about anchoring in and embodying those frequencies, embodying the healing, embodying the difference that you are now, the transformational self that you are now, right? After a certain process. So for sure, it's key. Thank you for that. And of course, if you'd like to work with Vinolan more, I mean, the process, of course, is going to be in the recording. So of course, you can always go back and watch and listen to this recording so you can do this process again and receive all the wisdom as well. But if you'd like to work one-on-one with Vinolan some more, you can check out his packages and package A, B, and C. And of course, if you're an Inner Circle member, please take advantage of your gift code as well. But I do highly recommend either package B or C because it has just more in it, the more of the audios to work with on a regular basis. And then package C is the 30-minute one-on-one session with Vinolan as well. So that support is really key and can be quite transformational. So awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Whew. And again, saying thank you throughout your day is also going to be really helpful in raising our vibration frequency and embodying the higher vibrational frequencies on a regular basis. Being grateful, saying thank you for whatever it is that is going on, what you're experiencing, what you're receiving is also very important. Okay, my voice is going. So thank you everybody for all your questions. They were awesome, wonderful questions, wonderful feedback. Thank you all so much for being here. Just so you know, we have our next show is on Saturday. Okay, so this week we have a third show on Saturday. Okay, so just so you know, same time, 3 p.m. Eastern. Okay. Thank you so much, Vinolan. This was great.
As always, thank you, Shefali, and thank you to everyone as well.
This was awesome. I loved it. I love the process that we did, but I love you sharing that forgiveness process for us, and how easy that can be, right? So thank you for that. And yes, it is about doing the work. It is about doing the work the best you can. Okay, but be gentle with yourself. No judgment. Absolutely, and gentle. And there's no rush. I know sometimes we feel like I have to do this really quickly and fast. There really is no rush. It's all okay. All right. So thank you so much, everyone. And until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all so much love and blessings always. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye. See you.